Chapter 132. Black hole swallowing locusts. Outside the city, the fire locust god steeped his face and coldly looked at the distant fall god city that was in the midst of tremors. The dragon's roar rushed to the sky, resounding through the heavens and the earth. The enormous dragon's might emanated out, and all of the low-level locusts outside of the fall god city's grand formation were all stagnant at the same time, their hearts filled with fear. The city's mountains and rivers rose and fell like a great earthquake, and soon, tens of thousands of miles of the Earth's dragon vein completely drilled into the ground. When it drilled into the Earth, it immediately let out a cheering sound. Ang, ang, ang. The cheering sounds rose and fell. After all, the Earth dragon vein itself belonged to the Earth. And at this moment, when it entered the Earth, it was as if the dragons had entered the sea, and there was an instant feeling of being like a fish in water. With a single swim, the Earth dragon vein suddenly drilled out of the fall god city. Rumble. The Earth dragon vein cheered as it quickly swam all directions outside of the city, and in a moment, a great earthquake began to shake out the side of the fall god city as a mountain peak rose up and a mountain peak sunk down. Countless locusts were startled by this huge earth vein shift and quickly flew up. For a time, the heavens and earth outside the city were in chaos, and all the locusts under the habitat flew up, densely packed and covering the sky. The earth dragon vein continuously traveled in all directions, spreading out towards the periphery. Slowly, at the outermost periphery of all the locusts, a circle of giant mountains rose up from the ground. While the locusts surrounded the fall god city, the circle of giant mountains was at the further periphery, encircling all of the locusts as well. The huge commotion attracted countless people to climb up and watch. Each and every one of them revealed a look of anticipation. It's the ancient sea's earth dragon vein, the ancient sea that the emperor entrusted the country with. Earth dragon vein. What a huge commotion. Can it deal with a bunch of locust demons? It must be able to. Otherwise we're dead. How many people did the locust demons eat earlier? How many armies have been eaten by all of them? Our guarding formation won't last long. Does Guhai have the ability to do this? Definitely can. Otherwise we'll all die. I only recognize the emperor. The emperor entrusted the country to this what's-his-name Guhai. I don't like that what's-his-name Dahon at all. No, if Guhai can save us, I am willing to listen to the emperor. So what if we honor Guhai as the emperor? I'm sure the emperor won't be entrusted with anything. Countless people clenched their fists and looked outside the city. Outside the city, the fire locust god revealed a disdainful sneer and said, Earth dragon vein. The earth dragon vein can only change the landscape of mountains and rivers. What else can it do? Can you fight with it? Keep attacking me, break the city, and everyone eats, eat. The fire locust god said grimly. Cluck, 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 cluck. Countless locusts heard the words of the fire locust god and swooped down on the defending formation together, constantly gnawing on the energy of the formation to break the formation and eat the people at the fastest speed possible. Boom! Steeply, there was a roaring sound in the surroundings, but in the four directions, in a mountain peak that rose up from the ground, a rolling fog steeply emerged. The fire locust god raised his eyebrows slightly. In the city, Guhai looked at the outside world of the endless imperial dynasty and revealed a cold smile. It's true that the earth dragon vein can only change the landscape of the mountains and rivers. However, the earth dragon vein can help me arrange the spirit stones in the four directions of the mountains. And without the mountains, the earth dragon vein can still create a mountain peak out of thin air. A29 heaven and earth vertical and horizontal are A. Rumble. Steeply, the fog rolled in, covering the sky in all directions, surrounded by a circle of giant mountains in the locust region, as if it were a border, blocking everything inside. the top-grade spirit stone of the whole city people. That is a huge number. Huang Fu charged in the past to treat the people like a son, hide the rich in the people. More than 100 million people's spirit stone has reached a huge number. 29 heaven and earth vertical and horizontal grand formation, compared to the Zhengjin sect in the beginning, is not much better. Boom! White mist instantly enveloped the surroundings. The fire locust god's face changed and jumped up to look around, but there was fog in all directions. The 29 heaven and earth vertical and horizontal had become a world of its own, and there was no southeast, west, north and west, and in an instant, countless locusts lost their direction. Gu Hai probed his hand and waved. Boom! Rolling storm winds appeared out of thin air and blew above the foothill god's city grand formation. Instantly, countless locusts were blown away. Gu Hai reached the entrance of the city. Open the door, Gu Hai said in a deep voice. Huh, Mogu, there are numerous locusts outside. The guarding generals were worried. There's no need to worry. No one will be able to escape if they enter my grand formation, Gu Hai said confidently. Yes, the group of guards opened the city gates. Boom, rolling locusts surged over. Gu Hai stepped forward to meet them with the blood sword in one hand and the absolute life sword in the other. As soon as the bone blade came out, a huge blade deity chopped out, and instantly, a large number of locusts were heavily injured, while above the bone blade, rolling black gas gushed out, enveloping a group of locusts. Close the door, Gu Hai drank, Kwong. The crowd of guards closed the gate. Gu Hai broke into the sea of locusts alone. Mr. Gu went out. There are so many locusts out there. Can Mr. Gu cope? Impossible. Those locusts eat everything. That's the body shield. They also eat it. Mergu can't hold on for long. This going out is looking for death. Many of the people showed a worried look. The locusts did eat everything, but unfortunately, Gu Hai's bone knife, it ate whatever it hurt. Immediately, wherever the bone blade chopped, countless small skeletons emerged from the countless black gases and ate against a group of locusts. Cluck, 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 cluck. The locusts bit through the small skeleton, and the small skeleton immediately dispersed into black gas, dissipating into thin air. The locusts didn't bite anything. Instead, any locust that was gnawed by the little skeleton was instantly eaten clean. Buzz! A bone spur emerged from around Gu Hai's body, attached to the absolute life blade. As long as it grazed the body of the locust was instantly devoured cleanly by the black gas. 29 great formations. Mobilize with me. Wind comes, wind comes. Gu Hai jumped onto a high mountain with a loud shout. Boom! In all directions, countless stormy winds rolled up steeply. The stormy winds swept all the locusts in all directions and blew towards Gu Hai in the center. Densely packed locusts, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, hundreds of millions. The storm wind swept and rushed straight towards the ancient sea. Hundreds of feet long bone knife blades emerged around Gu Hai, accompanied by the absolute life knife. As long as a locust touched it, it instantly tore open a small wound, followed by being swallowed by the black gas. Cluck, 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 cluck. The locusts let out a miserable shriek, followed by all of them being eaten. As the storm raged, the locusts with low cultivation were in the midst of disappearing at a terrifying speed. The powerful locusts could withstand the gale. However, in the middle of the great formation, a cloud beast was emerging. Powerful and powerful. At once, a huge locust was slammed into the ancient sea. But that cloud beast also suffered an intense attack from the locusts. But the cloud beast was defeated and just dispersed into clouds. The locusts couldn't eat anything. Instead, around Gu Hai, black chi surrounded him, if he was a black hole, in the midst of crazily devouring the locusts. In the city, countless people stared with wide eyes. The people couldn't see the bone blades around Gu Hai's body. They could only see the area of rolling black chi as if it was a black hole, sucking in the unending source of locusts. Mr. Gu, what kind of move is this? What a terrifying black hole. How many locusts were blown in and gone? Black hole technique. We're saved. The locusts were sucked in and they're gone. They're gone all the time. In this short period of time, they've absorbed at least over 100 million locusts, right? Mr. Gu's grand formation. It's awesome. Saved. Long live Mr. Gu. Countless people shouted in ecstasy. The fire locust god stood in the air, coldly looking at the area of black gas where Guhai was. Assholes, eating my locust children and grandchildren. I've never been the only one to eat others. No one has dared to eat us yet. The fire locust god said in a cold voice. Supreme, what do we do now? A locust demon worriedly said. HMPH. I don't believe that he's invincible. I'll mobilize divine power for you guys. Give me a head start and break this black mist area. The fire locust god coldly said. Yes, Buzz. A steep red light shot out from the center of the fire locust god's brow, instantly enveloping the surrounding locusts. And steeply, a group of locusts enlarged more than 10 times in size, each enveloped in a great fire around their body, as if they were a meteor fireball, smashing into the place of Guhai's black hole. Good timing. Guhai revealed a cold smile. Bear Yin. The bone spikes around his body steeply surged again. It greeted them. Boom. The fire enveloped the black mist area, but the skeleton in the black mist seemed to be unafraid of the fire, and the bone spikes violently rubbed against a group of locust demons, instantly forming a wound. Roar. The black mist area steeply skyrocketed tenfold. It was as if the black hole had enlarged tenfold in an instant, rapidly gnawing on a group of powerful locust demons. No, Supreme Being, help, help, the crowd of locust demons screamed in terror. Rumble. In the blink of an eye, most of the locust demons, enveloped by the meteor fireball, were devoured cleanly. Occasionally, 5 or 6 locust demons escaped, but the rolling black chi was following them. The more they ate, the faster the little skeletons multiplied in general, and in the twinkling of an eye, the meteor fireballs that rushed in were all swallowed up. Rumble. The storm was still sweeping. In just 4 hours, the locusts outside of Fall God's city had been reduced by nearly a third, all of them swallowed by the black hole. That was hundreds of billions of locusts, hundreds of billions. Inside the Faux God's city, countless people's eyes were shocked, and they looked towards the black hole just in gratitude, but also in admiration now. Mr. Gu, it's too powerful, perhaps, maybe it's not bad to join the Great Han Dynasty. Yes, no wonder the Emperor entrusted the country to Mergu. With this Mergu, we should not be afraid in the future. Great Han Dynasty. I'll be a citizen of the Great Han Dynasty from now on. A hint of anticipation flashed in the eyes of countless people. Guhai continued to swallow amongst the crowd of locusts. With the 29 heaven and earth vertical and horizontal formations working together and the bone blade at full strength, it seemed like it was already an invincible combination in the face of cultivators below the yawning realm. More and more locusts were blown by the gale and swallowed by the black hole. The rolling power was refined by the absolute life blade, feeding back 1,000th to Guhai. When the locusts were nearly half absorbed, a terrifying power rushed straight to the spleen orifice. Boom! A huge sphere of earth true essence formed in the spleen orifice. The true dragon golden Dan technique operated, and a brown true dragon coalesced in the spleen orifice's dantian. Buzz. The brown dragon carried the earth true essence and slowly flowed through the meridians in his body. The purple spirit mother true dragon, the blue water true dragon, the green wood true dragon, the yellow gold true dragon, and the brown earth true dragon were all together, encircling the meridians without interfering with each other. Among them, the earth true energy, but in operation, slowly condensed a trace of gold true energy to the yellow dragon. Earth begets gold, Gold begets water, water begets wood. The energy was in the midst of a slow transformation. Boom! The energy around Gu Hai's body skyrocketed. The bone spikes doubled again. 9th level of the Jindan realm. Gu Hai's eyes lit up. The rolling locusts seemed to be at the end of their rope. The fire locust god, however, led the way towards the sky, wanting to escape from this place. However, the 29 heaven and earth vertical and horizontal formation, was it that easy to escape? The Pequanian realm's fire locust god could only scurry about like a headless fly.